Let's go. I've always been a massive fan of them, and today they're going to show us why.
I'm so looking forward to it. Well, here we go, folks. As we said, ESL Impact Season 6, the very last day of the regular stage. Fluxo versus FURIA, the South American derby unraveling before you, and we will kick things off on Ancient.
FURIA, an interesting veto, I can't lie. I'm a little bit skeptical. Why don't they just stick with Anubis? It's worked out so well for them, but they're looking to show us why this is so intelligent, why Fluxo maybe never expected this to be the first pick, and already they just charge up onto the B bomb site, get the bomb down for free, and force Fluxo into a 5 versus 5 retake.
And Gabs has got a really nice kind of flank position. Yeah, oh, they've turned around. They want to deal with her. No, they didn't spot her, so they're like, she's not there. They turn their backs on her, and she gets the backstab. Going for a second. Not quite managing to connect the shots, but she's pushed the entirety of Fluxo into the waiting arms of her team. And that will be FURIA taking the first pistol.
I always say 5 versus 5 retakes, no matter what map, no matter where you are in the world, it's never happening. Like, you rarely see 5 versus 5 retakes actually pull through, and especially when you've got really good post plants such as FURIA, like that is just kind of a perfect round for them. They don't even take any damage, right? Which is flawless. But Fluxo, they are going to buy back up. Hopefully they can have a little bit more resistance in this round. But interesting enough, FURIA are actually just doing the exact same play, and this time they push so far into behind enemy lines. They get 2 kills basically for free, and again, round over.
Car really wants that AWP. 2 kills in the first round, 2 kills in the second. Just money, money, money. Farm it on up. Oh,
There she is.
We've drawn some blood. Oh, Lily Tens.
We got a kill. Awesome. We got a kill.
Fluxo does draw blood, so it FURIA does bleed. And as they, as Sam and Dean always say, if it bleeds, you can kill it.
Sorry, wait. Wait, if it's like bleeds, you can kill it? Wait, what?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm missing something. Okay,
Bro,
yeah.
Sam and Dean, Winchester, Supernatural, no?
I'm lost.
Oh man, bro. Chat, save me from Freddy.
I don't do, okay. I don't do much apart from CS. That's a lie. I want to even, so this is an eco. I really want to touch on the interview Julie did with Dust2 Brazil and how she's looking to move over to Europe and like was gonna leave this team at the end of the year regardless. About like thinking the team stagnating, Fluxo that being, and it's really interesting that like. I thought they were doing well, back to kind of semi-finals, but maybe that is the issue, that they were unable, they're looking for the title, looking for #1, and they weren't able to get that. So it looks like it could have been done with Jossie, but with only 2 weeks of practice leading up to the season, it's looked like maybe the worst Flux that we've seen for a while.
Well, we said Carl was looking to get that AWP online nice and early, and that's exactly what she's done. Younger has opted to buy into it as well. So she's going to have to really make that spend pay off. Instantly, Poppin's taken off the board here from literally the bottom of mid. But there you go. Younger will trade it back. However, with so many bodies stacked up in mid and Fluxo just kind of peeking out 1 for 1, it's made it incredibly difficult for them. But they'll stand their ground and just keep trading here. With only 2 players left, FURIA now have a huge advantage. They can go anywhere on the map. They have decided to commit to this B hit. The AWP is chilling in mid, so far away, but it could very easily catch Car on the rotate. Oh, this crossfire, that's the bomb. Oh, a bit of a fumble here from FURIA. Fluxo now have control, and FURIA have to try and regain it.
Wait, they smoked themselves off? Oh, I think they wanted a smoke door, but it's missed, and now they're going to push for it regardless. Goddess not playing with the AWP. As I mentioned that, they move over. Molotovs are missing. This utility is really scuffed.
No.
And because of that, Youngster gets lined up for a 1 versus 2.
I'll be real, Luliten's re-swinging that. I think it's because of the molly, but at that point, it's like you're halfway across. You may as well just go the rest of the way through the Molotov. Instead, she re-peeks Younger with the AWP, thinks, yeah, I can win this. She can't. Great 3-piece from Younger in that round to help secure the victory. Oh, she didn't even... There was like no Molotov left. She could have gotten through scot-free. Bit of a misstep there. The whole end of that round felt like one big misstep. But we move into the next round here, and instantly we're going to get a little bit of aggression, which is instantly punished. Goddess and Honor X wiped off the board before they even have a moment to show face. I don't think the AWP has been clocked here on the B site. There's still an opportunity for Younger to keep it locked down. As the smoke will dissipate, FURIA have yet to commit to anything just yet. And they have a lot of options here. The entirety of Fluxo have, well, what's left of it, have reinforced this B site. A quick pivot over towards A could work out beautifully, but instead they are going to look to commit. Younger misses the shot. That was an important one. They know the AWP is here, but they don't care. A great flash will allow Izza to push straight through, and now Poppins is the last one left with an MP9, a little bit of cash that she can take through into the next, but that's all that she's going to get. And after losing a round, FURIA instantly bring it back.
As it's not a good start for Fluxo, because even though FURIA did lose that round, that was a round that if FURIA were winning any day of the... Like, 9 out of 10 times, they would have won that round. So, unfortunately for them, they have to bounce back, and they do perfectly. Fluxo go for a play that they've tried previously in the second round, where they late smoke towards the doors and push down, maybe trying to catch a player or two off guard. Issue is, that late smoke comes in very late, and because of it, Kara is able to initiate with the first contact, and then the riflers are primed and ready to excel. Not only does Kara then activate with the first kill, but also supports her teammates perfectly with amazing entry flashbangs. And it's a very, very simple end to a round for FURIA. And for them, it's quelling my worries of why they may have picked into Ancient.
I genuinely think that it might have been a power play, because I remember chatting to them about this in one of the other weeks where they had done something very similar, picked into a map that no one expected, that they knew their opponents were strong on. And in the interview, they were like, yeah, that's
the plan.
Yeah, very likely that they're just going to continue doing that. And like we said, with this being a point of pride, they want to assert their dominance here. They want to say, you're undefeated on this map, we're undefeated on this map.
I think so. The undefeatedness, unfortunately, in South America doesn't have the massive weight that it might have in Europe, for instance, because there is a big change in quality between, let's say, the top and the bottom. What I think the reason why this video is so smart and on the theme of catching your opposition off guard is that Fluxo would just assume FURIA are going to pick into Anubis because of they've won it twice in a row super dominantly. And even though Ancient, they might not expect it to be the first pick, I would expect they do have prep on it, understanding that the last two videos have been the exact same of Anubis, Nuke, and Ancient. So they definitely aren't going in blind to Ancient, but maybe just not anticipating it to be like the first pick and 15 minutes before going, oh wow, we're going into Ancient right now.
I think it's also a bit of a sigh of relief that Anubis is map 3, just because Fluxo have not had the best time on it recently. But that being said, if things continue in this trajectory, we may not get to go to Anubis. And I think that there's also the kind of big brain of FURIA pick into Ancient, which means that Fluxo picking into Nuke allows them to pick a side. Which already, I mean, they're going to pick CT and they're just going to run away with the first half. So things starting to look very scary for Fluxo.
This is a really nice round. We've gone B pretty much every single round, and now we go towards A, but we have Issa throwing utility towards lane, so that's maintained the 3 defenders, and now we turn our attention over towards A. Poppins alongside Yossi are forced out of the bomb site. Bomb should be planted. That is the operative word. Can it go down? This sometimes is difficult, and yeah, scot-free. Now look at Isa in the lurk position, looking to catch off rotations, but she will be the one caught off. And now Fluxo, with the player advantage, could potentially go for this retake.
Unfortunate timing, but Carr will trade it back, bringing it back to a 4 versus 4. The AWP is still alive here, and every avenue is covered, but Ana X continues her reign of terror until Carr sits her down. Younger now with so much to do. We've seen her. She got a 1v3 before. She clutched it out for her team, but with no time remaining, she's going to have to back away and try to hold on to this AWP. No. Unfortunate. Taking that extra little bit of chip damage. If she had just yeeted instead of trying to get those, you know, closing frags, she might actually have survived. But unfortunately, not to be the case. And FURIA now have a 5-round lead.
Yeah, it's a 5-round lead, which is looking pretty unstoppable. The calling currently for FURIA is outclassing Goddess. Very simple. Like, it's not overcomplicated Counter-Strike, and it's just working out very effectively. Alongside that, talking about putting a lot of that presence and conditioning B, it's forced Younger with both of the rounds she's had the AWP to start towards B, and massive favor for FURIA that they're able to basically just walk out of A main unexposed, unidentified, and only be taking contact once they kind of take that peek into Donut. So currently, for FURIA, they can't do wrong on this T side. The question is, will that continue? And how will Fluxo respond? Because the only ounce of response I've seen from them currently is going for that lane push with the late smoke towards doors.
Apologies, folks. We do just have a slight tech issue, so we'll try and get that sorted out as quickly as possible. I'd like to see them go for more control in mid. Like, we see them throw util in mid, but we're not really seeing bodies being committed into it. And for FURIA, I mean, there are some rounds where they go for the mid control, but there are some rounds where they don't. So having that extra bit of space for Fluxo, the ability to kind of encircle a little bit. I mean, we saw it in the round where they caught out Carr with the bomb in no man's land. They managed to win that round because they had cut off any sort of a rotation for her by taking the map space. So I'd really like to see a little bit more of that.
Oh,
obviously
we're not
with
live.
this. Okay. Yeah, I was really confused there for half a second. Yeah. So I'm hoping, obviously it won't be on this round, but I'm hoping that soon we'll see them get a little bit more proactive with that mid presence.
I don't know really what else we'd want them to do in middle, because they're not being contested. I think them playing 3B and double donut is the response to them not being contested in middle. Like, mid's not the worry as of now. Potentially it would be getting proactive though towards lane through heaven. Unfortunately though as well, like that one round that Fluxo won was because Goddess did just make a really good heads up play by pushing the smoke and isolating Jules very effectively. A good old lane crunch from Cave and Heaven definitely would work. Surely they have that up their sleeve. Little run boost onto the ledge from middle, get a player up there swiftly, flashes over from B, keep smoke, good mollos, good nades. It's pretty hard to resist that as a T side if it's done correctly, especially the T side are contesting, which they have been doing so every round. But a good old technical pause. What's on topic of discussion for today?
I'll be real. I want to talk about the fact that Nip just lost to Let Her Cook.
That was...
For those of you that don't know, obviously we had some of the European games still ongoing as we were kind of transitioning over into South America. Ninjas in Pajamas, Let Her Cook went to map 3 and Let Her Cook won in overtime on Dust 2. So potentially a huge surprise. And what that does mean is that there isn't a three-way tie kind of in the mid-band. And it has allowed Let Her Cook to 100% make the play-ins. So that's really exciting for them. They were our big wild card last season.
We've got the
exactly.
matchups.
Oh, there you go. Big versus Let Her Cook, Navi versus Dreamcatchers, for those that are interested. But yeah, I mean, they were our big wild card, and they did incredibly well. Even without Rachel, they're still doing really well. So looking forward to seeing. And after beating Nip, I think we can all agree that that's going to be really exciting to see them potentially on LAN again.
Ooh, there's the heads-up play towards middle. Poppins is able to catch off Gabs, who was lurking around elbow. Really unfortunate with Jossie with the deagle. So this is a low buy, a half buy for Fluxo. Not expecting them to move mountains, but that was almost a 5 versus 3. Car seemingly gets dinked through a wall by the hand cannon. Very unfortunate for Jossie. But is this 4 versus 4 still possible? Car is suggesting otherwise.
I've also just had it confirmed that Let Her Cook actually played with Rachel today, which is interesting. Very curious to see if that actually turns into something. Exit frag? Question mark? Maybe one? No. Okay.
Ooh.
Only one kill, unfortunately. This lead that FURIA are mounting is just becoming ever more oppressive with every round that goes by, and I'm starting to fear the 11-1 heartbreak at the half.
Yeah. A second tactical pause going into what, round 9? It's never a good sign. And this is going to sound really crude, but Fluxo just aren't shooting back. You got 4 players on 2 kills going into round 9, especially when Poppins has, like, her development individually as a player is extraordinary. And sure, I guess comparatively to last season, there is a little bit of her slowing down, but that's her going from a 1.45 rating to a 1.35. Like, it's, you know, doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. But it also could be vindictive of the fact they've been losing a little bit more. But yeah, okay, we need to see Fluxo, very simply put, just get kills.
Our dear player to watch casually on 12 and 2 at the moment. Just thought I'd point that out for anyone who hadn't noticed. Love Car. All right, we're going again for the B hit, already on site. I mean, South America is known for its aggression, but FURIA have really taken that, just that extra step further tonight. Just trying to be as dominant as they possibly can. Now, we are seeing some of that encirclement come through, but Gabs ready and waiting. She gets caught off guard. Taking that lurk out means that they've evened out the numbers, but it does mean that it is well known that they are going to be going for the encirclement. It doesn't matter what information you have, however, as long as they can shoot back, and shoot back they will. 2 versus 1 now. Lily Tens with everything to do. She's already got 2 kills. She just has to hold, just has to allow that time to tick down. Has she managed to stall just enough?
Oh my god, they've lost the bomb.
They can't find the... Oh my god. Okay, but they found a kit. But they still can't find the bomb. That is devastating. That was their round. That was their round to lose. And lose it they did.
I'm speechless. That is the type of round that the fact that you don't close it out, that's game losing stuff. It was really poor post plants from FURIA. I did like that Gabs had actually shifted her position from playing B doors to playing bucket. That almost caught off Fluxo, but we had loads of flashbangs, we had loads of utility, and we played really isolated. That was a good retake that was set up for Fluxo, and they fumble it. In the 2 versus 1, there's no time. They couldn't find the bomb. They didn't pick up the kit. It's real travesty. I don't know how you're mentally going to be able to reset. FURIA just playing super simple Counter-Strike. They're utilizing their lurks, and they are just death balling towards these bomb sites, and Fluxo have no response.
Responding back with a bit of damage, but unfortunately, we are definitely in that too little, too late bracket. No utility here. One smoke. Retake basically impossible. Gabs is just living rent-free in their back line. Oh God, it's the last one left here. So, next round they'll at least have money, but let's face it, at a 9-1, you desperately need to win those next 2 rounds. I just don't see it happening. And I think that, so that encirclement that I was talking about before, we saw that, and unfortunately, you know, not able to find the bomb, not able to get the defuse, but the plan itself was still good. So again, I'm hoping that they lean into that, because with only 2 rounds left, something miraculous needs to happen. There's an AUG. There you go. GG, it's done. Anna has won my heart, therefore she's won the map.
Playing AUG on the A-bomb site is actually really viable. You can sit back temple, or you play like the headshot angle on the boxes, but she's going B. So for ramp, I don't know. This is feeling like game over already, even though we're on round 11, which is never a good sign. Okay, mid for the first time, properly and truly, like early round, gets contested for by FURIA, and they get the opening kill. Jossie gets her head cleanly torn off, and now they're utilizing this space they have created. Lula 10s, the newest addition to FURIA, heading into Season 6, is currently sitting at 14-5, demanding respect, going for more. Nothing can stop her.
The fact that she's picked up the AWP as well, just to add insult to injury, and now Goddess, the entire world on her back for this round. The bomb has already started making its way over towards A. The lines of escape have been cut off, and that is yet another round for FURIA. And oh man, they even get rid of the AWP. They're like, we don't want double AWP on the T side. We just had that for the lulz. They swap back to a regular old rifle, and they're looking to close out this half in one of the most dominant displays that we've seen this season.
Eepers. Question now in my mind is, has FURIA just got that much better, or has Fluxo just got really that much worse? And I think that's going to be a very interesting narrative going into Stockholm, as both teams will be attending. This is for Pride, and currently FURIA have all of it. It's just like, take your pick. Who's going to be rocking heads today? This time, it's Isa. It's so formidable, so terrifying when you're playing a roster that you have no idea who is going to step up and get a multi-frag each round.
Already a huge advantage. I do like the aggressive push, but the smoke is clearing. Anna will win that. She gets a second for herself as well. Tries to follow it up with the third, but can't quite connect. Luli10 so low, but still, it's a headshot. That's all that's needed. And that's what she gets. Now Josie, left all on her own, knows where at least 2 players are. Splashing her way through the waters. Trying to get there fast enough. Trying to make a miracle happen. Bomb starts to get planted. With just an MP9 in hand. She's not going to try to upgrade. She's been spotted out. There you go, the upgrade. I was waiting, but it's the AWP. It's Car who sidesteps, swings and hits. And FURIA take the half at 11-1.
Hold up, where you going? Looking like that, looking so good. What you trying to do? You trying to get in trouble? Should be a crime. Flirting with the devil. Get out the way. A new dawn, new day. Can't nobody touch this groove. Work hard, get paid. Dress up like a Sunday. Watch me now. I'm making moves.
I can tell everybody at home right now scratching their eyes, refreshing the stream, refreshing HLTV, thinking, is this really correct? A matchup that has been so back and forth and very tight for over a year now, more than a year, 2 years, is now 11-1 at the half in the first map. What's going on, Fluxo?
Yeah, I don't think any of us expected it to be quite this one-sided. We hyped it up as the South American derby, and well, FURIA have definitely seemed to come out on top so far. But seemingly, Fluxo might be able to steal away a pistol here, and that's step one on the road to recovery. Unfortunately, Bazina swings wide, gets a nice little refrag there. Younger's gonna keep things contentious. Now Poppin, she's been the hero of this roster in the past. Gets her first, trying to get the second, has to go for the reload. Somehow manages to survive. Instantly popped in the dome by Lulitens. And now Younger left all on her own. The defuse, can it be stopped? She gets off the bomb, but she can't stop it entirely. A valiant attempt.
There's no time.
Time? Question mark?
No, there's no time.
Oh, there you go. Beautifully done there. Does just enough to ensure the time. And Fluxo will actually take the pistol.
Yeah, it was a real protect the president moment that maybe it would have been better just to double swing and try and confirm the kill. There's so many different things that you can either argue is wrong or right in that situation. Ultimately, unfortunately, they come out on the lower end of things, FURIA, so it's not going to be a clean sweep for them just yet. Worrying though, Poppins is still on 3 kills. The star of the show for Fluxo consistently is currently not shining as bright as we know she can. Oh, nope, not even the kill. Gets taken away by Goddess for the 2nd round in a row.
That's all right. She's, you know what? She's there. She's doing her part. She's helping. Ooh, what a shot, Car. All right. Doing a little bit of damage here. Damage is something that Fluxo really can't afford to be taking, really. But Poppins will trade it out. And if they can keep 4 alive, then they'll be happy with that. And for FURIA, I think not too much more that they'll want to get done in this round. Again, maybe just keep things expensive. The more expensive they keep it for Fluxo, the easier it's going to be to close things out towards the end there. Lilitens has managed to pick up a Khalil. She's going to have to protect her teammate, and that she does. She's taken a lot of damage, though. The two of them are going to have to split up, head to opposite sides of the planet, but they will get to keep 2 guns into the next round, and they've done some serious damage to Fluxo's economy.
Very weird position to be in because you save a Galil MP9. I didn't spot, but they might have a Deagle as well in their pocket to drop over. Doesn't seem like it. Because this is normally a round where you full eco. But you get 3 kills and you save a little bit. I wouldn't want them to buy into this. Just because you've got the scoreline of 11-3 doesn't necessarily mean you have to play like, you know, fully, what's the kind of no respect, right? Like you can still play normal, just give them the round, take the eco, hopefully try to get an extra kill on Luditens, who's doing pretty well at getting those kills in this game. Maybe something on Isa for the SMG. Orp will be out for Car next round regardless. Like, don't need to overcomplicate things. Just take each round as it comes, play the eco out, go on the rifles, finish off Ancient.
Feels like Fluxo might need somewhat of a miracle here. We do have a slight tech pause, folks, so please do bear with us while we wait for that to kind of sort itself out. We've spoken a little bit about, EU and what happened today and kind of the big surprise there. What do you think our NA contingency, like how are we feeling about what's happened there? Does the FlyQuest, or rather the whole TSM thing and the fact that they've kind of fallen to the wayside, it's been a bit of a disappointment.
Definitely shocking to see TSM naturally not the team that they once were. That's sad because they were the most contendable team, and then that's dropped off. But Fluffy Mafia have taken their space, which wouldn't have been the team that I expected to do so. And very unfortunate, they actually played FlyQuest in the opening round. So maybe if they played them now, there would be a little bit more contestability. So hopefully next season we see the rise of TSM, and then there's an eco win. Oh, they're winning on the eco.
No way.
No, back to South
God.
America. Talk about salt in the wound. FURIA, they do just take the eco, as I mentioned. Maybe an armor purchase hit, maybe a P250, but nothing true to write home about. You're already 11-3 up. Do you really need to kick Fluxo while they are down? And apparently the answer is yes. Anorex and Younger looking to stem the bleeding, looking to save the day. But with one already dinked, this could be very treacherous.
Well, we said it was a point of pride. And how much more of a dominant factor wouldn't it be for FURIA to win this out here on this eco? Is completely uncleared. And that's going to be putting FURIA on map point on their map pick of Ancient, which normally would have been Fluxo's and was probably a bit of a power move. Now, before we kind of barrel into the last round, I do want to just give a quick update. Atrix versus the Killers. The Killers currently, they were 9-3 up at the half. And MIBR 8-4 up at the half versus Insanity. Meanwhile, Capivara is losing to Peak FE 9-3 at their half. And now looks like we're going to be finding out who is taking this map. And wouldn't you know it, it's probably going to be FURIA. Instantly, the first kills to come through. There is a bit of a trade-off. But 4 versus 4 and a massive weaponry deficit here for Fluxo. They're going to have to dig deep.
This has to be a massive wake-up call. Not just once, not just twice, but thrice have FURIA annihilated Fluxo on LAN, online. Normally such a contendable series here in map 1. Been a non-starter for Fluxo. Poppins on 4 kills. The talisman for the demons not present at all, and Gavs looking to put the nail in the coffin. A very swift trade, but Bazina potentially just baited in perfectly. Uncleared, giving back the advantage. Rotations aplenty. Car, a missed nade does give a breath of fresh air potentially to Fluxo. But all 3 players here on the scene. Bomb, can it even be planted? No, that's it. That's map 1 done. 13-3, and a thick melancholy haze now hangs over the heads of Fluxo.
And it's probably interesting to point out that these 2 teams haven't played each other on this map in over a year. The last time they played it was on the 5th of...
For them, but that's obviously a massive step up.
Yeah, I think no matter how you look at it, it's going to be a very exciting season for ESL Impact.
Chat,
now,
is this real?
It's happening. We are now jumping on into Nuke. Thank you for hanging out with the Freddie and Sam podcast, where we get caught up on all things ESL Impact. But now into the action. And yes, FURIA do start on the CT side. No crazy shenanigans here, but it does not bode well for the Fluxo ladies, because now starting on this T side, it's going to have to be magic. They have won a T-sided pistol already today. So we'll see if they can try to replicate that magic, as already a ton of damage chunked through onto Bazina. Somehow Lulitens doesn't realize they've already threaded the needle. 2 kills already. Bomb to be planted. And the last 3 players from FURIA so far removed from one another. It's going to be difficult to find their way back into this round. A couple of early pickoffs might just be the call of the day. But not looking to be the case. Gabs is in spawn. I think they're just going to hold on to the armor. Like, you know what? We don't... Why push this? Why give them more money? We're just going to hang back. See you guys in round 2.
Would have thought those odds would be, honestly, more in favor of of FURIA.
Honestly,
But,
yeah, that seems... what's the word? Generous. There you go.
Yes, I think generous is a very clean way to put it. But great entries from Anorex. Really nice entry pathing. And really clean first bullet accuracy. Fluxo already off to a way better start than they were on Ancient. It's not saying much, but a much better start, and realistically probably one of the better starts they've had on this map in recent times against FURIA. So, does this bode well for the future? It's been a long break until we've got into this. Have they mentally reset? I would hope so. I would hope for a competitive map.
Time will tell. We might just have that economic reset shenanigan. FURIA have done more with less. We've got one body down towards B here currently. Bazina, unfortunately, instantly caught off guard. Mac 10 to the dome. That's a B site, free and clear. And they still have a player up towards A outside that could catch some rotations here. Boosted up ever so slightly. Gets the first, but realistically, she doesn't really need much more than that. A huge player advantage, and FURIA just go, you know what? Nope. We're gonna hang out. Thanks. See you in round 3.
Okay. Does someone call Jame? Because it's Jame time.
Is it?
Yeah, it's save time.
Yeah, that's fair.
What did...
I'll be real. I never knew that that's what that was in reference to.
Oh. It's
Like, I'd
'cause
seen it
it's
said a million
abhorrent-
times.
Abhorrent,
Go on.
excessive use of saving. Which
Oh.
I'm a fan of, which everyone hates.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm a fan of the save. My team do not like saving, and it infuriates me. So, you know what? Be like Jame. Be like Jame.
Should try coaching a 4K Elia Romanian guy who buys Deagles and Ecos.
Alright. Tons of cash. Tons of utility.
Ooh.
Everything going for them. Lily 10's using the jump. Don't worry, nobody saw. Nobody saw. Where is Car? Okay, Car's over towards ramp the scout, so she's not really going to get too much action this round. Fluxo have already kind of started to head their way down towards that B site. Bazina looking to get overrun here. Oh. Okay, getting a little bit aggressive with it. She's
Bong.
manages to circumvent the Molotov. You know there's a player there. She just walked through. She's so brave. She's not even getting flanked in on. This is so weird.
They know she's here. They've heard her. Yeah, she got ticked in the Molo. Fluxo did the exact same round as the previous. And FURIA don't really anticipate that to happen. And you can see there wasn't really much of a rotation down towards that B-bomb site. So for Fluxo, ironically, they are going to be matching the scoreline of Ancient here in the first 3 rounds of the game. And I was about to say they've done it fairly flawlessly. They do lose one and a second in the tail end of the round, but Lula10s should be dying to either the bomb or a swiftly encroaching Anorex bomb radius. Yeah, I was going to say, I think she dies there. So silver linings for Fluxo, at least you can't save the AK, but regardless, FURIA do now go into this round with the full purchase, and they're going to have all the bells and whistles considering that they force-buyed in the second round.
So this is going to be the real test for FURIA, for Fluxo rather, because we know pistol rounds can be a little bit coin flippy, and with how well Fluxo won it, it's no wonder they managed to string the next 2 rounds together, get themselves that little bit of a lead and some momentum going. But now FURIA have money and guns to back up their plays. And they're not going to be caught off guard by the same shenanigans again. Or, well, theoretically. One never really knows. That's your teammate. That's your teammate.
Oh, a bit of jitters on the server.
I'll be real. I get it, man.
Who's going to be coming from T-Roof at 1:30? I don't know. There's jitters and then there's that. It's fine, though. Like, it ultimately doesn't matter. We caught it. It happens. We move on. Fluxo, they were holding very steady for a aggression towards the lobby. They were waiting for someone to maybe approach. No one does. Now, it's the most default of rounds you'd ever imagine. Outside smokes at about the 50-second mark. Goddess, I mentioned, she likes to play around herself, sending her out on a mission outside, but the directive is towards ramp. Gabs spots out 2. Don't know if identified the bomb, but will just drop. FURIA with 30 seconds. Haven't found a kill, but still with great map control. And now Fluxo commit towards B, but Gabs does have Isa to hell. Isa, though, head rock straight away. Gabs only good for the first. Younger catching off the rotations with the AWP. And Fluxo, they matched the 4 that they've been struggling to get past this whole season.
This is really well done. I think that, so Gabs needed to get a first kill there. And when she didn't, Car kind of needed to be able to get a kill as Fluxo were moving in. But Fluxo do the right thing. They molly it off and they force her to have to rotate away. So they get a free and clear path down towards that B site. And that numbers advantage could have meant the difference between winning the round and ultimately losing the round, which is, of course, what has happened now. And as they attempt to hold on to the last of their weaponry, unfortunately, they will lose the rifle, but at least Car still holds on to the AWP. And Car has not really had a chance to use it yet. We're not seeing the characteristic aggression that we've become so accustomed to from her. So I'm waiting to see if that does start to activate. Unlikely to happen in this round, just given the state of the economy. But come on, Car, activate. Get cheeky. Oh damn! It is this round. Oh, it was this round, and she just gets sat down within moments. God is like, no, not gonna be allowing that to happen. Younger to follow it up, and FURIA. I mean, this round is basically lost already. There's a world, but I'm not sure if it's this one.
Logically speaking, I think you're correct. I do like the play from Car. Try get aggressive outside with Bazina, basically realizing that Fluxo have been utilizing the fact that they haven't been counted outside whatsoever. Car tries to change that narrative, is unsuccessful, unfortunately. So a pretty nifty start for Fluxo. I'm not gonna lie. This is, for the first time in 3 games, getting over the hurdle of 4 rounds. And they're gonna do so within the first 5 and without even losing a round and without even barely losing any players.
Probably worth reiterating that Fluxo, I mean, so they're not undefeated on this map, but over 10 maps played, they have an 80% win rate. So they're still comfortable on it for the most part. And the fact that they've lost it so many times recently to FURIA, bearing in mind that those matches took place outside of ESL Impact. In ESL Impact, the last time they played on this map, it was a 13-6 in favor of Fluxo. And the stakes are definitely that much higher when you're in this kind of really official international circuit. So perhaps they've taken their losses from those last 2 meetings and have cracked the code. Because 5 rounds on their T side and completely shutting FURIA out so far, that's pretty damn good.
I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Like, this is, to me, the best map for Fluxo, and it has been pretty much for the whole time when they're in B4. It always has been their best map. And that's why, to me, it's so shocking that FURIA have been able to dismantle them not just once, but twice, really dominantly. 5-0. Fairly important gun round for me to see what's the litmus test for the rest of this game. Like, FURIA have got 3 players yet to get a kill. One of them being Car, who we've obviously spoken very highly of. This needs to change. I like the idea in the previous. It doesn't work, but I would like to see them get a little bit more aggressive and try to take some space away from Fluxo.
I definitely think there is strong contention for a 3rd map. Maybe I'm on that hopium. Maybe I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but with the way that this has opened up already, and if Fluxo get this round, it's almost confirmed in my mind, particularly because their scoreline at the end of this half is going to be outrageous. FURIA, their money is in dire straits at the moment. So rebuying into the next few rounds is going to be difficult. Car gets herself on the board. A first kill onto Poppins. Might be just what the doctor ordered. Even though Poppins hasn't really been playing at her best today. You can never really count her out. She could activate at any moment. Don't allow that to happen. Car, ooh, okay. Ana X can't confirm the kill. That allows Car a moment to readjust. And she gets the 2nd kill of the round here. And suddenly, what looked like Fluxo may have had yet another advantage turns to despair. As player advantage, FURIA, Car, absolutely unstoppable. She's now won the AWP duel against Younger. The bomb's been lost in outside. Fluxo, what's happened?
Ooh, this is a real breakdown, a systemic issue in the round. Car, I called upon her at the very beginning. I said she has to rise up to the occasion. 0 kills coming into round 6, 3 coming out of it. And Goddess and Jossie just counting their losses as they elect to save. FURIA finally on the board and finally now showing some resistance on Nuke, or rather, Car showing some resistance.
I mean, yeah, this is kind of an unreal round from her. That kill onto Ana X was crazy. We didn't get to see this one from her POV, but there you go. The crouch peek with an AWP, and Younger gets taken out entirely. And Car did that at pretty low HP as well, given the fact that Ana X had already peppered her down, although I suppose during an AWP, against an AWP, doesn't make that much of a difference. But it also just kind of goes to show the confidence that a player like Car has to not be afraid to just keep repeaking that angle, because she knows how good she is. And she had a slow start to the map, fair enough, but not gonna allow that to stop her from continuing to assert her dominance. So she'll finally find herself there. A couple more of the Furious players still need to wake up, you know, shake off some of the post-break rust. But it's still early days in the half. There's still a chance for FURIA to turn this back around. And in fact, if they win this round, Fluxo's economy is completely in the drink.
Oh, we're changing up the pace. We're going out A. Ana X, similar entry from the pistol round. Only good for 1, but a very good trade from Poppins. Car testing the waters from heaven. This is a very brazen play for her to be making an unscoped at the worst timing. And now as Isa falls towards main, this round is doomed. Fluxo, they don't let lightning strike twice. They charge onto A, and they'll find solace in victory.
And this is hilarious to me because Fluxo are winning these rounds in very similar fashion to the way FURIA won the rounds on Ancient. Sure, there's a little bit more time before the actual exec comes in. FURIA were very much kind of buzzer beaters.
Deathball.
No, wait, buzzers? Buzz is kind of the end of the round, but they were like, whatever. They were like really hard and fast straight off the bat. Whereas like Fluxo, they kind of take their time a little bit, they spread out a little bit, they get a little bit of information, and then they explode. This round was a little bit of a deviation from that, and that was where I started to feel the similarities to what we saw on Ancient. And for a team as aggressive as FURIA, that kind of trademarked the aggression, for them to be so for them to be struggling so at dealing with that aggression certainly doesn't bode well. And it does leave the head a scratching.
It is a really good change of pace though from Fluxo, and a good change of direction. Not going towards A, apart from the pistol round, mostly focusing a lot of their attentions outside, and you can see it just completely catches off the A site players, and the rotations are fairly ineffective. FURIA though, they saved one. I don't know if they saved the AWP. They definitely saved something. I'm not sure if Gabs was able to pick up the AWP. Regardless, they have it out in this round, so all is dandy. Fluxo still trying to work with the 5 AKs, and there it is. We were talking about that aggression from Car. She dropped a fake Molotov, and Anorex simply has no idea what just hit her.
That's what I said. FURIA basically trademarked this aggression, and that's what we were waiting for from Car. Ooh, now she's trying to babysit the bomb. She's not able to get away. Poppins will end her reign of terror and retrieve the bomb, but Gabs is here ready and waiting instantly as her head ripped off. Poppins up to 3 kills, and somehow what started out with FURIA having a huge lead has turned into a 2 versus 2. Fluxo still have that little bit of utility available to them, and that's going to allow them to get a bomb plant. FURIA not looking to contest that as the door opens. Younger will get the shot in. 1 versus 2 for Lulitens. She's been a star, 22 kills on the previous map. Can she somehow clutch this out? The crossfire has been set up. She has the one smoke to try to isolate these duels, but no, it'll be Younger to catch her out. FURIA, how have you let that slip away?
Poppins, that's why. She heard us. She heard me critiquing her on map 1 and has stepped up. Not only in this round, she's been having a really good game, but that's a 2 versus 4 that has been gifted in favor of Fluxo. It was a 5 versus 3 for FURIA. You know, the whole round, they had great success. And then isolation after isolation after isolation spells despair.
Just a quick update for you guys. Capybaras versus Peak FE 6-6 at the half. Be really cool if Capybaras could get a win under their belts. MIBR versus Insanity 9-3 at the half on their second map. So it looks like MIBR should take their series pretty handedly. Much like Fluxo should take this round. I died to... Ooh, okay, okay.
There it is. Gabs gets a multi-kill. Gabs gets a multi-kill with the MP9. They're not going to clear it. You've heard it here first, folks. There's the first. One more around the corner. Oh, they're not going to check. Jossie. Gabs gets a multi-kill.
Still good for 2. Like...
I am so Raven. I get it, guys. But Jossie, if she didn't get in that corner or got cleared, boom, rounds... very scary, but it feels like even though we've had our fun, FURIA have had their fun, Flux have done a bit of trolling. Guys, no way you lose this, right?
Hang on. Can we talk about the fact that you know that's a Raven, but you don't know Supernatural?
I only know that's a Raven because of Brandon.
That's...
Oh, we're trolling still.
Oh, is that... Oh, okay, okay. We're not trolling that hard. We're trolling, but not that hard.
Ooh, that was almost the second kind of like eco force by loss.
Almost.
15 HP.
I feel like you're more stressed out about it than Anna X is, bro. She looked so calm, and you're just, yeah, like, your voice is cracking, you're going through a second puberty. Anna X is like,
I've gone through a first puberty? It's bold of you to assume.
That's fair. Yeah, aren't you like 12? You could be right.
Exactly. I'm still the baby of the group. Cannot take it away from me.
Buddy. Ooh. Nice little bit of
Oh,
chunky
we're going A.
damage. Bro, they're just
she's
never
so
ready
fast.
for it.
Oh,
And she
okay.
does it full blind as well. Like, this is outrageous. FURIA have
Great
no
entry
idea how to deal with the aggression.
Fantastic entry pathing though. The amount of space that was created. You could see that, I don't know who the first player was because they were both Tetris, right? But there was one that was more looking towards Hut and she was shooting at the second entry because Anorex had just made an abhorrent amount of space. No scare, no terror, just swinging for the fences. Perfect entry pathing. And then it's topped off by the fact that she gets 2 kills because of it. Poppins hunting. There's blood in the water. She smells their weaknesses. And Car subjugated to a save. What is going on in this series? You could not tell me this scoreline and kind of like how this has gone out in this series and I would have believed.
So, how impactful do you think it is that Fluxo have won 63% of their rounds on this map on the T side?
That Fluxo win is because they start T side and win the majority of the rounds on the T side because they don't get much of T side against the other teams.
Fair point. And we may just see that happen all over again. I was starting to think maybe, you know, maybe just like T-sided Nuke team. Yeah, there are some teams that just kind of flip the script on its head. But that is a valid point that you bring up, Master Freddy. I want to see if Car can... Oh, no. See, she's on ramp. She's so far away. And I was hoping that she might be able to pull out some heroics here. To make this round a little bit more competitive. Poppins is already off the board, however, which is... Sure. They haven't taken her gun, though, which is... interesting in and of itself. I suppose you don't want to like push that unnecessarily and end up getting taken out. And well, Car's just had the orb taken away from her, so any hopes I saw in this round have whittled away. And it should be Fluxo hitting double digits. I'm having some serious like reverse deja vu here from Ancient.
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. Player advantage with FURIA. Anorex. No multi-kill in this round. 2 versus 2. Fluxo, they have shone in the disadvantaged positions before, though. Lulaten's not expected.
There's no
The
way. There's no
backstab.
way, bro.
Talk about a backstab. The 5-7 clutches up a second round for FURIA. Is this potentially their breath of fresh air? Have they got a new lease on life on Nuke?
Bro, there's actually like I see her coming up behind them, and I'm like, no way, you've got a pistol. There's no world, and yet this was that world. It's not even the first time we've seen FURIA do that as well. And on top of that, they're still able to recover the AWP that Car lost, so they don't have to reinvest into that. So this buy for them is super comfortable, and it's the best way I think that they could come into the last round and a half here. Not broken, not pots and pans, but a full, robust buy to try to make a third round out of this. But already, so much early chip damage comes through. Start to make them feel that little bit more uncomfortable. Fluxo now going again for one of these slower plays. Not going hyper-aggressive just yet. This is where I want to see FURIA take the space. They play so passive. It has worked out for them in a previous round. The first round that they won, in fact, was a far more passive round with Car playing the outside position. Now she's still playing down towards B. Playing a bit of a pivot. Meanwhile, Fluxo looking to commit to A here with a wraparound from Goddess as well. So this could turn into a very ugly pincer.
Oh, it's perfect for Goddess because she's going to be bypassing the AWP. And Gabs is also, luckily, not worried of a player down towards B. So to ramp we go. Goddess still lurking outside. Have to rely on her teammate. Gabs, good for the first. Car, remember, we mentioned she'd already rotated down. Blows open the door, so still vision that Fluxo have to deal with, and deal with they can't. Goddess finally activates outside and potentially is calling for Younger to rotate up towards A. 15 seconds left. No one can stop her as she rotates in, but time, is that actually enough? It's going to be so close. Card just running up the vent, turns the attention away from Goddess, and with 3 seconds left, there's no time to plant the bomb. FURIA win 2 rounds in a row, and is it enough?
FURIA breathe a sigh of relief at the end of that first half, managing to string 2 rounds together and make it 9-3 instead of the predicted 11-1. But they're going to need a lot more in this half if they want to take this series in a 2-0 fashion. And already they're looking to make that magic happen. The first kill to come through. One will get traded, but they maintain a steady lead, at least for a moment. 2 versus 2 now. Bomb yet to be planted, heavily under fire. Now, with that bomb down, they can set up their defenses. They know where at least one of these last remaining players is. The drop down, still one player up on high. The distraction is good. Josie manages to follow through a 2-piece for her, and that's going to be a free and easy defuse. Fluxo take the second pistol in the map.
Yeah, that could be potentially the nail in the coffin. Not only of, as you mentioned, they've taken both pistols, but they are also currently 10-3. They would have loved to be already maybe hitting 13 at this stage, because both of those previous rounds at the end of the first half were very much winnable in favor of Fluxo, especially that last when it was the 2 versus 3 and the bomb just had to get planted, but they couldn't cross to the bomb site. But now, Fluxo looking a lot better on Nuke. As I mentioned, this is their map. And it didn't look like that in the previous altercations against FURIA. And it looked like they were going to get steamrolled once more after the absurd quality of gameplay from FURIA on Ancient. But now we finally have contestability. And it looks like Anubis should be our playground for a very exciting map 3. It's going to get there though. Let's rein in our horses a little bit, because even though this is an eco, bit of damage maybe, and then you win the next gun round, and then you're really kind of smiling, potentially getting some good steed, but Goddess is looking to deny any of that aforementioned damage.
Yep, it's looking pretty much as to be expected. I will just give everyone a quick update. So Peak FE has won their map against Capybara's 13-7, which I believe was map 2. So I believe they've won that. And then MIBR have also won 2-0. So 2 of our games have already finished up. And wouldn't you know it, our derby match is actually looking to go the distance. After map 1, we weren't too sure. But it seems like we will actually get to have our third map and get to go all the way with these 2 teams. And honestly, with this particular matchup, it realistically just should not go any other way. You have to get all 3 maps. Otherwise, you feel a little bit robbed. Question mark? Hello?
Sorry, what
She's like
happened?
somebody running up behind me. It's probably my teammate. All good.
Wait, what just happened?
That's
Wait,
great.
that...
She 100% thought it was her teammate.
I actually can't believe that's happened. Like, oh my god, that's
the fact
amazing.
That she goes for the knife as
she's
well.
She's like, what's going on? She's like, wait, what's Anarex doing? Headphones? Question mark. That means Car gets the AWP out, and Car with the big green pushing through the Molotov shouldn't have given away that knife kill, because Car is already instrumental on the server.
It's a great opener for her. How much more can she get done here? Alright. Ooh, nice little chunky nade there. Soften up Car a little bit, and considering, you know, we've got 2 MP9s on the server here, the squishier you make Car, the better. Josie, great little first headshot there. Follows it up immediately.
Okay.
That's just disgusting. They've just mowed through 3 of FURIA's players, and FURIA just kind of... It was a kind of a Magikarp moment. FURIA used Splash. It was not very effective.
And then struggle and hit
MP9.
themselves.
Yeah. It hurts itself in its confusion.
Yeah, I know Pokemon. That's the one thing. That's the one thing. I might be a little bit younger, but I know my Pokemon.
It's something.
It's actually my little secret. What's the thing when people say that they love it, but they like it's like the
Guilty pleasure.
guilty. Yeah, oh, massive guilty pleasure. Like
Okay,
not
but
even
you
recently,
are
but the
12.
last 2 years.
We established that.
So it's allowed to be my guilty pleasure because I'm still a child. But I've evolved to the old, Poker Rogue, all of that jazz. I'm a big fan of the old challenges in Pokemon, but I'm much more a fan of the challenges that FURIA are now set with, as they have to get 9 in a row to hit overtime, and this crunch down towards towards lower is just it's remarkable, one would say.
We've had a few very interesting rounds here, but now map point for Fluxo. They're looking to drive this home. Again, a little bit of early damage done. FURIA looking to cosplay Fluxo, but unfortunately, this site is locked down and they cannot get the same value with their aggression. They have brought it to a 2 versus 2, however. Luliten's managing to get one. Unfortunately, cannot get a follow-up. Josie, she's been a stalwart on this A site. How much more can she get done? It's going to be Younger to get the final kill of the round. A 13-3 on map 1, and Fluxo turn it right back. The Uno reverse card, and it's a 13-3 in response on map number 2. And ladies and gentlemen, we will be going to Anubis, our map number
series. I think if both of them step up, if both of the Orpa step up, Younger, maybe we haven't seen too much from her this season, this series. That could be definitely a win potential. Who's going to be coming out on top? Both teams have already qualified to Sweden. This is for seeding, but most importantly, that sweet pride.
Absolutely. Here we go, folks. Jumping into Anubis, our third and final map. If you are just joining us, scoreline 1-1 between the two queens of South American women's Counter-Strike. And already Izza has taken a ton of damage. She's going to be forced to fall back as Fluxo start making their way in towards this B site. Potential pincer to come through as well. Ana X will get the first one. That's like her 15th blind kill this game. And she just keeps on going. FURIA now have to mount the retake. 3 versus 4. The rest of their team still have to come in. Bomb hasn't been planted. Yep, there you go. It just manages to connect. Car's shots, however, are not connecting. And unfortunately for these last 2 players, Gabs's wraparound took way too long to activate. And Bizana cannot land a shot. Fluxo win yet another pistol in this series. I think that puts them at 4 for 5, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. Yeah, because they won. Yeah, so they lost the first pistol round on Ancient, won the second, then subsequently lost to a full eco on round 3 of that half, and then, yeah, won both on Nuke, and were very clean at taking that victory. Okay, T side, we have to see a good start from Fluxo because they've lost on Anubis 7-13 and then 8-13 in very recent days on LAN and online, and both times it's actually been FURIA getting a really substantial lead on the city side, 10-2, 9-3. Like, we're talking about very one-sided affairs on a side that shouldn't be getting those type of score lines. And for the sake of Fluxo's sanity, I hope they're able to get more than 3 rounds on the T side.
Well, already through the fire and the flames, FURIA trying to get a little bit aggressive. A Molotov will kind of stop them in their tracks. At least there's a little bit of damage done. If we can get one more kill here, I think that would be ideal. But unfortunately, not to be the case. Another round to go Fluxo's way, as predicted. And even though they have to reinvest, it's really not the end of the world.
Both teams can come away happy with this. 3-11 Fluxo, hunky-dory. 2 kills for FURIA. It's good damage, right? So everyone's a winner in this situation. Just Fluxo more so because they're in the lead. But FURIA, they've had great city sides in the last 2 meetings. I'm assuming we're going to see something similar. Let's see, what is their excellence? Why were they so good? For now, they'll be careful of this B bomb site.
already Fluxo have somehow taken control. Lulitens will get one, but she'll be traded out. And, well, that's the B-bomb site. Free and clear for the taking. Izza still here, still ducking and weaving. And with Bazana's reinforcement having already arrived, this suddenly becomes a winnable position. However, Ana X will start to put a stop to that. Younger is very much aware that Izza is here, and she will finally connect the shots, but not before Car gets one of her own. Gabs to follow up, and somehow we're in a 1v1. Car has no idea, and yet her spidey sense tingling. She'll flick at just the right time, and she'll get that defuse. Round 3, and it goes in FURIA's back pocket.
Okay, that's not exactly the excellence I was expecting for FURIA, but it's still a round win nonetheless. And that was a really awkward round from start to finish from both sides. You've got Lulitens being able to pick off one player before she falls, and Bazina, that is a really good use of the smoke, because there was a smoke palace and there was smoke on the left side of the bomb site that was placed by FURIA. She's able to get around it, and because of that, gives FURIA a way back in, even though Younger and Jossie, from my perspective, played that perfectly in the 2 versus 3, realizing that Car was on the flank's too strong, and Car ends up winning out the round. FURIA now, can they replicate their success? Ooh.
I'm amazed that Gabs manages to get away with her life there. I thought the spray through the smoke would have ended her life, and she doesn't fall off. She actually kind of face checks this. A great flash to come through, gets the kill, yoinks the gun. Now she can back away. That's a great start to this round. Fluxo now have to find a way to stabilize. They have garnered full control of mid, however, but Car ever vigilant, ever aware. They know they don't have a lot of presence up mid, so she has to be that presence. She spots out 3, but she loses her life. She has to give that information over. The flash connects, but just not quick enough to follow up. And the A site has completely crumbled under the aggression from Fluxo. FURIA now just have to hold on to these last 2 guns.
From a really, legitimately beautiful opener with not even Jossie being in a negative position there, because she gets countered just perfectly by Gabs and really good utility. It's then this sudden wrap towards A, and even though there were 3 players there and Car, who was the hero of the first victory for FURIA, it's Fluxo taking this round quite cleanly, and it's back to winning ways. FURIA, though, they save 2 from masses? For my?
I think you'll find it's for Moose.
For Moose. Oh, yes. They saved 2 for Mooses. But I don't think that's going to be a purchase in. Yeah, it's just going to be a half buy.
Yeah. It's going to have to be. Don't really have too many options in that regard. Smattering of utility, couple of flashes. In this instance, Freddy, do you prioritize smokes or flashes?
Wait, who are we talking? CT side?
CT side, yeah. Hang on.
Okay, we're going to hold that thought for a second, because Fluxo, they've been ecoed twice so far in this series. One was pretty much a full eco, and this one is a full eco apart from those 2 saved Famuses, and both of them have already picked up a scalp. And with Bazina and Gabs buying armor, if these rifles are able to be picked up, they're very dangerous. Ana X, tries to take matters into her own hands. That's going to be her downfall. Fluxo now subjugated towards middle. Jossie and Goddess in tandem. What magic can we create?
Bazina definitely spotted 1. She's holding the angle for the push, but they're not opting to push her. Instead, they've wrapped all the way through the CT spawn back towards this B site. None of the rifles, or the AK or Galils, have been recovered. It's still the Famooses. They've managed to set up a decent little cross here. Bullets through the flames somehow. Somehow it's the pistols that get the last 2 kills. And a round that FURIA had absolutely no right winning. Magic. They make magic happen. Perhaps Fluxo getting a little bit too overconfident in that one.
Yeah, it's like Anorex here, right, gets the kill and then tries very aggressively to hold on to the rifles, and it's just, it felt way too easy there. That's a massive fumble from Fluxo, and they even coming out of spawn discombobulated. Younger's on a Glock, for God's sake. Oh, this is treacherous territory now for Fluxo. That should have been them sailing to a fourth. Not even a sweat should have been broken. FURIA, they barely invest in, so now they've got massive economy. Can they hold down on B once more? It's going to be a fast pop. Playing in the smoke is Issa, supported perfectly by Lulutens. Oh, the sight hold. It's magnificent. It's near perfect.
The sheer amount of full blind kills that we've had in this series has been kind of nuts. I wish I'd had the full sight to have kept track of it, but you know, hindsight is 2020. Great round there. I loved how Izza played that as well. I feel like she should have been punished because she just like yeets into the smoke and threw it and then gets like 3. It was a little bit outrageous, but it works out. You know, it's completely unexpected. It throws Fluxo off their momentum, and now finally FURIA with a solid advantage, anti-eco, and looking to get themselves the lead here for the first time in this map.
It's just suddenly shifted the narrative, because this was a 4-1 should have been scoreline for Fluxo. All of a sudden, they're on a full eco, and this T side is started trailing. 3 rounds is actually the most they've ever got on Anubis ever got. In the last 2 times, it was 3 rounds on the T side and then 2 rounds on the T side. So not looking too great for them if that narrative maintains. So they've already matched 3. Surely this is not where they get stuck.
Surely, right?
Surely.
Okay, so back to my question about smokes versus flashes on a low buy eco round. Because me personally, I like smokes.
It just depends what you're trying to do. That's the question. That is the thing. I know that's a really boring answer, but if you're trying to make a play, flashes. If you're trying to hold off a part of the map and funnel the opposition elsewhere, smokes. So if I know it's a really boring answer, it's like the kind of logic hat, but it just depends what you're going for.
You're right, that was boring. But, you know, it was insightful, so thanks. All right, AWP in Car's hands. Again, a little bit of a slow start to the map so far. Hopefully we'll get to see her come to life. She's going again for an aggressive... I say again. She's going for an aggressive push through a long here. Looking to catch someone off guard. Bro, Fluxo are just so aware that that could be a possibility. She hasn't spotted anything out just yet. I don't think she realizes just how close, uncomfortably close, Fluxo are right now. But I do like how Fluxo are working the map. I've liked how they play very dynamically in terms of their tempo. They don't like to do the same thing over and over again, which is never a bad thing. Car taking some early damage there. Only spotting out 1 player, however. So not too much garnered from that. Ana X getting very aggressive, right up close and personal. But now 2 players' positions are very well telegraphed. Poppin swings out and Izza. She's going to be good for 2. Now Younger opting to push right through the smoke along with Josie to create some sort of a crossfire. But with Josie going down so early on, now it's going to be down to these last 2 players. Bomb is alone on site. Reinforcements have to come and connect. And now that bomb is lost. Goddess, she's managed to stomp her way up through mid. Bazina is highly aware of this position. The HE does connect, do a little bit of damage, and Bazina will swing to clean it up. It's a bit of a messy round, but FURIA will bank that into their pockets.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. Messy round and understatement. Really good counter utility from FURIA. They block off B main, they mollo connector. That basically means that Poppins is isolated, and I don't think she wanted to go through with her contact as quickly as she did, and it was because the Molotov forced her ahead. Very individual fights that FURIA were able to succeed in and time out, and the only reason that round was winnable was because of Goddess's lurk through middle, but ultimately a very secure site hold formulates for a round win, and now up against the low purchase. There was a lot of utility, there was a few Tech-9's armor. This could have got seriously dangerous for FURIA. You know, we've seen it time and time out. We've seen it on this map already, but FURIA take the fight to Fluxo, and now Younger is just left scratching her head with a full belt of utility and a Glock with no armor.
Oof. What to do? Oh, this is going to be another round that FURIA bank like it's the weakest link. Do you know that was one of the most frustrating things for me watching that show and not seeing people bank? I'm just like, is that too boomer for you? Do you get that?
No, I think that's
Okay.
taken a... firstly, it's still shown on TV.
Oh, it's not here.
Oh, okay. Like, when I was, let's say, around the age of 13 to 15, 16, I had just, like, my main mode of entertainment for a part of it was just plain TV. Like, we're not talking about Sky, we're talking about literally the basic TV. So I'd watch a lot of those things. But yeah, I agree. I think, like, seeing you see people do well, you're like, just bang, you know, it's life-changing money, and they lose it next round because the question is just like actually impossible, or they get a really easy question and you're just like, no, you idiots, you idiots, you idiots, you idiots.
It does feel like watching Counter-Strike sometimes, I'll be honest.
I start watching my gameplay. So what am I doing? What's little bro trying to cook here?
Oh, bless. All right, Fluxo cooking something. Cooking an A-lean. You've been deterred by a smoke for a couple of seconds, but now they have free reign. FURIA not opting for the aggression means that they're not entirely sure what's happening right this minute. Oh, that's a good volley. That's really good. She's going to fall off. HG to follow up. And she, oh, I thought she got that. It was Car. But she'll get the follow-up. She'll get a second.
Still, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, how did Car
Nice
die?
Molotov. Yeah, Molotov onto her from Goddess. I mean, position obviously figured out. I don't know why she just stood in it. I'm sure there was a reason. But that's bomb. FURIA opting not to get too aggressive, so bomb should be recoverable, which is the good news for Fluxo. The bad news is that it's 2v3. There's 35 seconds left. They have to commit. Goddess is an unbelievably low HP. Do they just
Can go
save?
B. If they go now, they can go B.
They're not going now. I think they're
so
saving.
it's either a save or a very late committal towards A, hoping that there's only one player here. 15 seconds, there's two players still here. And also Isa's running over to come and help. Flashbang's really good. Bazina unfortunately can't capitalize upon her blind enemies in front of her, and Goddess got the bomb down too late. FURIA realized this, and both those kills come in after the clock has struck 0. The 11th hour is called, and two players will be having very poor money going into round 11.
So we were talking about saves on Nuke, and obviously you and I, we've agreed we're pro saves. And I feel like FURIA have been a lot more willing to save than Fluxo have. We very seldom...
Okay.
Sorry?
We're full buy this
yeah.
round, sorry.
The Force? Yeah, I mean...
No, it's a full buy. This is all out.
I think there's just like a terminology thing there, because I just refer to that as a force because they spent everything. So they've like forced their way into the round. But it seems to be working. They have, okay, I say working. 2 versus 3. Bomb is planted. Buying themselves a little bit of time here. Mac 10 up close and personal. Poppins can get one more, then we're in a doable situation. Younger can try to take the long angle. Oh, there we go. The Mac 10 does actually pay off. Younger with the 2K. That should not have gone Fluxo's way. That's I want to call that a little egregious from FURIA.
Whatever got us cooked going to that round, I don't know what it was, but it worked perfectly. Like, a forced full investment because of those two players not having really any economy due to them dying after time in the previous, and somehow it works out magnificently in the 2 versus 3. Isolation of those kills. Really nice that Poppins has the heads up play to play close towards heaven and force a duel with the MAC-10. Even though Carr got a brace, it wasn't enough. But speaking of Carr, on your screen, our player to watch, we are intently staring at her position because the AWP close range sings and also has a rifle in tandem to swing and negate any pressure implied by Poppins.
Beautiful little bit of tandem work there, playing off of one another. Oh, and now Goddess looking to take some of the space over towards mid here. She's already pushed FURIA back that little bit more towards A, so she's got a bit of room to wiggle in mid. She can create a bit of a pincer, but see, this is where the danger is. Yep, there it is. I appreciate the pincer, but you're so far removed from the rest of your team. You're both essentially weakened. However, Anna X, never one to be called weak. She gets hers, but she can't get too much more. Younger, heavily under fire, so much pressure on her. There wasn't too much she was going to get done. It's an 8-4 half in favor of FURIA.
Hold up, where you going? Looking like that, looking so good. What you trying to do? Trying to get in trouble. Show me a crime, flirting with the devil. Get out the way, a new dawn, new day. Can't nobody touch this groove. Work hard, get paid, dress up like a Sunday. Watch me now, I'm making moves. I'm making moves. I'm making moves. I'm making moves.
8 rounds, it's a thing of dreams. If you're a nerd of Counter-Strike, 8 rounds on the CD side should be enough. That should guarantee a victory for FURIA. Will that potentially lead to some overconfidence?
We've seen it before. Will we see it happen again? Fluxo getting aggressive. Ana X making the magic happen. Josie here to wrap around, get in behind them, try to create a little bit of chaos, and she'll be good for her first. Fluxo have already been pushed all the way back, but now FURIA have been pincered in. They're stuck in this connector. Josie, how have you done that? What? The double fadeaway. Get out.
Okay, Fluxo have now won 5 out of the 6 pistol rounds in this series. One of them was on a 13-3 loss of a map. And currently on Anubis, they've got 5 rounds. They've won both pistol rounds. Does this change the narrative slightly? Does this potentially make us believe that if Fluxo can roll with momentum, roll with the punches, get younger, expressing herself on the AWP, get poppins, throw in some shade like we know she can? Is this going to be a CT side comeback starting now with a 2-round difference and the guns being pulled out for FURIA?
It's as good a start as any that you could ask for here. How much more? How much more? I do love that the AWP is already online.
Yeah, it's really good. Good SMG kills in the last round.
I feel like Younger just hasn't had as many opportunities. So I really want to see her activate a little bit more here. Not like that. My God, Car. Like, you're just unfair. AWP instantly recovered by Ana X. She's going to back away ever so slightly, thanks to the Molotovs. And Car just showing her prowess as an AWP player, because even without an AWP in hand, those reflexes are just constantly so fine-tuned. Peeking out, Car not quite able. There we go. The second kill comes through. It's messy. We do get a few of those MP9 kills.
Good reaction, though, from FURIA. Look already. So we realize what's happening. Gabs and Isa rush through connector, and Pazina just gives space because she's like, I do not want to get caught off with the bomb. It's a 1 versus 1. Josie comes onto the scene when needed and has pounced for her first kill in this round. Pazina knows exactly where Josie is and is gambling that she's still over towards B. As now she maneuvers towards A, shifting a little bit, but continues to run. Bomb will be planted with about 10 seconds of grace to work with. Planting out for A main. Where do we choose to post plant for currently the highest rated player on Anubis?
Oh, a tough one to come out on top of. But Pazina, I mean, she has been such a stellar performer throughout this map so far. And to be fair, like, she was reasonably quiet on the other maps. On Ancient, she was like 13-7. On Nuke, she was like 4-13. And here on Anubis, she's just been lights out. Such a fantastic performance from her, and it's largely in part because of that FURIA have been doing so well. You know, she cracks open so many of these rounds and gives them so many of those opportunities. And of course, if you get those early engagements, if you can get those kind of double kills, you lessen the burden on yourself to have to stabilize. And you force the opponent to have to, like, figure out, all right, what the heck do we do from here? Okay, it also helps that she got, like, I think she got 2 4K spray downs in anti-ecos on the CT side. Certainly contributes to a phenomenal scoreline. But can't take it away from her. She's had a good run of things. We have had a disconnect, though, so we're going to try and get them back in as quickly as possible. But in the meantime, what do you think, Freddie? Fluxo still in with a chance here?
Yeah, for sure. Like, we won the first gun round. You win pistol first gun round, boom. They win with first gun round. What am I on about? I'm smoking the Zaza apparently. I just completely got mixed up there.
Away with the crack or whatever it's called.
Away with the very different meanings in very different countries. No, as much as I am a Fluxo Demonos fan, Vamos Poppins. No, it's I think this is I think you had to be winning the first gun round. It got way closer. It never should have come down to 1 versus 1. It should have been a FURIA pretty easy, clean win. And because even though it wasn't, I think it's going to be really difficult for Fluxo, especially considering that the history we have at our disposal, we can tell that FURIA are significantly better recently on Anubis. And with winning the pistol round on the T side and only winning 5 rounds, that's just not a good look.
I will say I've been really impressed with the tenacity of both of these teams because, so we start off with a super one-sided map for FURIA. Fluxo don't crack, they come back and they slam dunk the second map. And FURIA as well, you know, they don't allow it to get to them. And they've come back swinging here on Anubis. Looking very good. Already have the first kill in this round, so looking good to get to double digits. Luli, Tens, and Car playing off of one another nicely outside of B here. They're going to swing on that as well. Poppins will finally get taken down out of the picture. Goddess could be good for one here. Car dangerously low. There you go. Now we're 2 versus 2. Younger, the run and gun works out. And suddenly what looked like FURIA winning this round has slipped away because the bomb has been lost. And Izza, while she does have full HP, smattering of util, the last 2 Fluxo players are now down to 1. I thought they were going to be grouping up and nope, they're just going to peek her 1 by 1. She swings around the corner. She gets the second kill with 4 HP left to her name. She's just that good. FURIA hit double digits.
That's actually such a big clutch. That is so important for Izza to be winning out a rounds like that because that is very similar to the previous. Should have been a FURIA round and has ultimately been successful, but it's got way too close. It was a 2 versus 4 where both Goddess and Younger had no right in getting any of those kills that they were able to claim. And Fluxo, now it's their time to be forced on an eco. There should be an 11th round for free for FURIA. And we go into the later stages of Anubis with FURIA taking the mantle, taking the driver's seat, and looking to park their car as the best team from South America going into Stockholm.
I think coming into this, like, they had already decided in their minds that that was the case. And having that level of confidence is what I was saying about Carl a little bit earlier on as well. Like, when you have that confidence, it definitely elevates your own play. And it enables you to do things that you maybe wouldn't have been able to do if you were feeling like, oh man, I'm going to lose this. I'm not going to win this 1v1. You know, if I swing this, I'm just going to end up dying. And then you don't do anything and you kind of stall out. And for a team like FURIA coming into this already believing that they're the top dogs or the top cats, it makes all the difference in the world. And now all they have to do is
done
prove
and
it.
dusted with the ecos.
There you go. 2 rounds left. Blacks are going to need a miracle at this point.
Done and dust with the ecos. I think I DC'd for a second there, but could see the stream perfectly. I don't know what just happened. I think my Discord just died.
That's crazy. I was wondering why you were so quiet. It's like,
I was wondering why you were so quiet.
oh, that's crazy.
Because I could see the game perfectly. Like, perfectly. You know, there was not a stutter, not a jitter in sight. And I was like, well, I'm on 5,000 ping apparently, which just doesn't seem to be adding up. But we're back. Eco was done and dusted. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. No problems about that whatsoever. 11-6. This could be it. This could be the final few rounds in this regular season, the ESL Impact Season 6 in South America. And NRX caught out in position. Car doubles down. Car triples down.
Car was our dear player to watch coming into this series, and while she may have had a bit of a quieter time earlier on in the series, she certainly has stepped up here. She will, however, be put down, but she's given her team more than an advantage. 3 versus 2 here. They have good control. Poppins already burnt terribly low, and with Bazina right behind her, she's completely unaware. And that leaves Younger all alone. Not the first time we've seen her in this position, but it may just be the last. She's now going to be forced to have to back away, hold on to the AWP, and hope to God they can make a miracle happen in that next round, because it's map and series point, and Fluxo have no money.
It's not looking good. If you are a Fluxo fan, if you are a Fluxo predictor like I was, it's a scary, daunting sight. At the minimum, though, at least, Younger will be saving her up. That is really important, that the AWP is able to be pulled into this round, as you mentioned, money is lacking for this CT side, and when Car is able to annihilate you with an AWP with a rifle, it's so daunting, it's so scary, and Bazina is having a fantastic game, once more portraying it as she hits a 2 KD, a third and final tactical pause called for Fluxo. They need 6 rounds in a row to see if they can edge us to overtime.
I mean, 6 rounds is doable, right? We've seen stranger things. Unfortunately, the problem is the force that they've come out with here. The 2 Famooses, 2 MP9s. Bro, one of these days it's going to become Famis. We're just going to like evolve.
The Famoose is cool because it sounds like a moose.
That's the idea. Well done.
You know, mooses are really dangerous, by the way.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you know that the hippopotamus is like the most dangerous land creature?
Yeah. Seahorse. That's what they're called. River horse. That's what hippopotamus
I was about to say, nobody
horse.
calls them seahorses.
No, it's in Latin it means river horse.
Ah, there you go.
I think. Pretty sure. Did do classics as a degree, so.
Oh wow. Why?
That's
for another time.
But that's also for another time. But what's not for another time is FURIA looking to end it off here. And the Yorper overextends. One does, the other doesn't. I was talking about how important it was Younger had her AWP, and she shows us why. Sets down the law, and Jossie in middle is looking to keep Fluxo alive for one of their 6 rounds that are needed to send us to an overtime on this 3rd and final map of the regular season in South America.
Just keep saying it. Just keep breaking my heart, man.
All right, we're all sad here.
Yeah. At least we still have the finals coming up.
We do, and we still have North America. So, and we have the community streams, potentially, if they're still going on. I haven't actually kept too much of a track of it.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, I think the community streams, they've wrapped up. We are the only psychopaths that decided to have a derby. Which, to be fair, this is the best kind of psychopath, you know. It's the we stand South America psychopath.
I wonder how many hours of my life have been dedicated to South American Counter-Strike.
All of them, as it should be.
As it should be.
All right, Fluxo, we've taken our first step on the road to redemption. Couple more steps required. They have done some serious, well, maybe not serious, but they've done some sizable damage to FURIA's economy. So in amongst the AKs and the AWP, there's a Tech 9 and a Mac 10. Memes. But
Best
again,
weapon in
we've
the game.
seen... we have seen FURIA do more with less. I don't remember who was trying to tell me that the Galil was the best game in the gun, and I
Oh, it is. It is the best game of the gun. The best thing. That's what you said.
Midnight,
That's
by
what
the way.
you said it first. You said it first, and I tried to make fun of you, but it ended up just looking bad on me because I said it and then almost looked like I made a mistake. But the Galil is the best gun in the game. There's not one on the server right now, but FURIA, they are not messing around. They're charging towards the A-bomb side. There's the opener. There's a second from Gabs, and there should be the map series and crown for South America.
We won't count out Fluxo just yet. Bomb now only going down. We do have a bit of a lurk coming in through here from Ana X, but that is being held down by Carl. Oh, she's turned around. Younger gets the shot in onto Gabs. If Ana X can get the kill here, this is when it suddenly becomes recoverable. But Izza is up close and personal with that Mac 10. She's been forced down. Yes, Ana X getting in behind does manage to get that kill, but it's going to take so much more. Younger to follow up with yet one more kill. Poppins will make it even more expensive, and now the defuse to come through. You thought they were out, but Fluxo will not be put down so easy. My English just like went out the window at the end of that round.
My kind of like, my brain has gone out the window. Like, yeah, great double opener from Gabs, and then maybe pushes a little bit too far. Car gets caught off with a back turn to A main. FURIA, it's like, I was 5 versus 3 post plant on a map which has both of the hardest retakeable bomb sites in the game, like kind of on par with Inferno. Fluxo 3 versus 5 retake for Salvation. I guess that's what you do when your back's against the wall. You come out with these heroics.
I am glad that we did have one close map in this series. And this is one that Fluxo have not won yet this season. So it's good to see that they can still put up a decent fight. They're looking to get themselves up to 9 rounds here. Just a little bit more, just a little bit further. And we could get that OT. Xena will only be able to get 1 kill. And that will be all she wrote. Now, FURIA, you have cash in your bank. You have a buy round. You have everything at your disposal. But we have seen rounds that FURIA should have won slip away like sand between their fingers. And for Fluxo, I feel like they're getting into that groove. They're starting to build up some confidence of their own. Younger has really picked it up in the last few rounds. I've been very impressed with how she's been performing. And if she keeps that up, we may yet get our OT.
I'm so here for it. I'm so 13 threes of the first 2 maps into overtime. Oh, that'd be pretty spicy. Seems like FURIA actually want to go for somewhat of a similar play that worked out in the last gun round, but this time with a little bit more intricacies towards middle, with Xena throwing a bit of utility. And yeah, it seems like as of now, we want to go for this full frontal execute onto A. Jossie giving away a few sound cues, needs to be careful with rejection of her sound, because they now know there is a player towards default. Here comes the full execute. Xena's also in middle, but it's again a double opener. Gab supported by Izza. Another 5 versus 3, but they're not all on that bomb site. Remember Xena, I mentioned her towards middle. She'll be looking to cut off these rotations.
Oh, they play this so much better than the previous round, making sure that your lurk watch isn't so close and you can kind of catch them off guard. Now, Fluxo have to do exactly what they did in the last round, but they only have 2 players alive to make that magic happen, and FURIA still have a full kit on board, and unfortunately, at the exact same time, the 2 swings will come through, but FURIA will put it in the grave. They have now taken this last game of the season 2-1, stamping themselves once more as the queens